When you came to America, did you notice the difference right away?
Yeah, I think, you know, I remember getting off the plane and when it's freezing, like, we don't get cold like this. I mean, even going to Baguio, it's cold in Baguio, but not cold like it is in Daly City. So, of course, that was like the first thing I noticed, because I didn't have a thick jacket. I just had a, um, a denim jacket on, so I was freezing. And I remember my family like had brought us like blankets and stuff, to keep us warm. I remember, in the Philippines. I mean, I was a kid, so people would just tell me things. I remember someone had told me when I was younger that when you come to America, um, the streets are made of gold, or the streets are made of money. So you're lucky. You're lucky you're going to America. And I remember when I moved here. We would walk around the area where your mom used to live, and where your dad used to like manage his properties,
Oh, the apartment.
in the Tenderloin area, right, of San
Yeah.
Francisco. And I would look at the floor. I was looking for like something shimmery or like gold. I was looking for money, and I was like, oh, it's dirty, like it's nothing different here. So I definitely didn't expect that. I didn't know what to expect, but definitely, I mean, someone told me it was made out of money. That's not the case. And it was also my first time seeing like other ethnicities of people, so that was also really different for me. Um, I remember seeing like the first African American person. I'd never seen one before, so I was like, oh, there's people that look very different here, versus in the Philippines, everyone looks like you. I didn't have a concept of like different ethnicities of people being around each other all the time. Um, I think those were kind of like the biggest things that were different for me. But when we moved here, we moved to Daly City, and so it was like Filipinos everywhere. So I actually felt really at home here right away. I didn't feel so out of place, because so many people looked like me. And so many people were immigrants. They also were speaking Tagalog, and so um, it was different. It was very different when we moved here, but at the same time, because I was, fortunate enough to move to a place where there's a lot of Filipinos, it also felt relatively comfortable.
Did it feel weird speaking English to Americans for the first time?
Yeah, what actually felt more weird was speaking English to Filipinos, Philams. I went to school over there in private school, and in our school, they had transitioned in the last 2 years of my schooling, to English only instruction and English only during the school day. So actually, in school, they didn't let us speak Tagalog because they wanted us to learn how to speak English. You would get hit if a teacher heard you speaking in English or
Wait,
in
this is in the
Tagalog.
Philippines or here?
In the Philippines.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they wanted to teach you. So I think it was like starting like second grade over there in the Philippines, in the school that I was going to. They made you speak English. And so I knew how to speak English. I remember I used to carry like this little pocketbook dictionary, like English to Tagalog and Tagalog to English dictionary. So so I'd feel better about like whether or not if I forgot a word. Um, but it was actually really weird seeing Filipinos. I didn't know what a Philam was. I just thought all Filipinos were Filipinos, from the Philippines. And so the first time I started going to school, there's a lot of Filipinos at my school, Filipino kids, and so I got really excited because I was like, oh, cool, like I have people to talk to. And I would talk to them, and they would look at me, and they're like, well, you're such a fob. Why do you talk like that? And I didn't know what a fob was. Nobody explained what that was to me. And they said, oh, you speak funny. Why don't you speak English? And then I would speak English, and then they would laugh at me, and they would say, oh, you speak funny English. And so I made it a point to really listen to the way they spoke English and to try to imitate them, like to, I mean, I guess in reflecting now, what I was doing was I was trying to lose my accent. At the time, I just wanted to speak like them because they said I sounded funny.